God's Word, the bread of life. If you were to place your hand on your heart, what do you feel? A heartbeat, whether right now your heart is beating fast or slow. It's evidence of purpose, evidence that God is not done with you just yet. It's said to believe that a person breathes 12 to 20 breaths per minute. Every breath I take is a reminder, act as a guide for when I forget where it came from. See, after he hovered over the face of the water and spoke creation from the chaos into order, he turned his face to his unfinished masterpiece. And he breathed, he waved his very breath into the fibers of our being, into a living, capable of seeing, hearing, feeling, and more. More that can be contained in a list of just 5, but found fully in his holy breath of life. I counted it every day I've done since birth, same as other creature on God's green earth, but alas, withstood I've abused it. I've refused to use it for anything but self-gain or cursing those I disdain. With this breath, the same holy breath, bespoke the stars into creation who called out the way leading us. What a privilege we have to be alive right now. Both are we using our lives correctly? Are we being a light in the midst of the darkness, or are we just blending it with the crowd? You see, the concept of following God does not always come easy. You see me standing here today, but just like you, I have fallen more times than this. Hands can count. I march into this world perfection, eyes wide open because we were quick to blame God, but we know exactly where we get ourselves and we entered into this world's pleasure and desires, abandoning our Holy Spirit. The voice of conviction is pushed deep down because we don't want to hear it. It's dangerous when we silence the Holy Spirit. That the side of us, I think, now no one would be the next time. I would write a poem. It was as if I stopped and so I did my ministry. I spent time praying to God alongside my doubts. I figured I reached His voice, no, because I didn't hear Him answer. It's corrupting. How? When we don't hear the voice of God, we assume He is with us. Why have you fallen into the trap of thinking that God isn't with? When I was in the world, I met friends and their names were suicide and depression. There are specific people that God has assigned to you for you to spread the gospel, and if you don't allow yourself to be you, those people will be lost. Now, I ask you once again, are you using your life correctly? You see me standing here today, but just like you, I was lost. The only difference is that I decided that my life was worth so much more. No matter the situation, no matter how deep you feel, no matter how broken you are, there is nothing that God cannot do. If you were to place your hands on your heart, what would you feel? A heartbeat, whether right now your heart is beating fast or slow, it's evidence of purpose, evidence that God is not with you. Suicide and depression are not your friends. They're the devil in disguise. Inhale, exhale. It's the bread of life that God has given you. Remember, talk to God. No breath is lost. Walk with God. No strength is lost. Wait for God. No time is lost. Trust in God. You will never be lost.